All my life, I've been complaining that no guys like me. Sorry, let me rephrase. No guy that I liked me back. Okay, but tell me why I finally found a guy who liked me back. Okay, wait. I met this guy who I thought was attractive, right? And he also thought I was attractive. And then so I got his IG and we went on like dates.
Congratulations!
Woman, if I called you brain dead, it would imply that you actually had a brain at one point in your life, and I really don't think you deserve a compliment right now. You literally answered your own question within the question that you asked. Chad doesn't want you for more than anything outside of the spoiled scar tissue box that used to be known as your reproductive organs. Your mistake was thinking that you were on Chad's level, despite the fact that you've already proven yourself vain, intellectually lacking, and somewhat brainless. And because you repeatedly rode on Mr. Tyrone's wild ride, it gave you an unwarranted hyperinflated ego to go along with your completely absurd standards. So when the slightly above average dude who simply doesn't know any better decides that you might be a good match for him romantically, deep down, you're not gonna feel the same way because you feel entitled to Chad. And what's really sad about this whole thing is I only graduated college thanks to a minor clerical error, and even I know this.
You know that? Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir!
It went really well. The dates went really well. We went on like several too. But tell me why I didn't feel anything. What is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with me, Cody? I finally found a guy that liked me back, and I don't like him.
That's a mystery.
There are many, oh so many things wrong with you, but the long answer is because you are emotionally immature. I'm willing to bet if this dude had money, you would be madly head over heels in love with them. If he was built like a Spartan god, then you'd already be picking out the color of your bridesmaid dresses. But because this guy was only somewhat attractive and not the type of man that you're used to banging, you don't feel anything for him. It also doesn't help that movies, TV shows, and terribly written Taylor Swift songs have made you feel like if you're not madly in love with a person, then they're just not the right guy for you, which means that you live in a fantasy world, one where unicorns fart out rainbow-colored cures for cold sores, and one where you find yourself in a marriage with children and a husband who treats you with respect.
Recently learned about like attachment styles, and I think I found out that I am a fearful avoidant. A fearful avoidant is when you want intimacy, but you fear it. But like a lot of my friends tell me that I just like haven't found the right guy. It's okay guys, I don't believe in love anyways, so I am happily single. I couldn't be any happier. Yeah!
Liar! 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 It's not that complicated, lady. You wanted Chad, Chad didn't want you. The end. And instead of just owning up to your mistakes and trying to do better in life, you're just gonna use some psychobabble to try to convince yourself that you're just afraid of intimacy, despite the fact that you've gotten intimate with quite a few Chads and Tyrones. So instead of trying to own up to your bad choices, you're just gonna let your friends convince you that you just haven't found the quote-unquote right guy, despite the fact that you actually had a really good guy who was interested in you, but you just couldn't get over the fact that he wasn't Chad. So you can try to convince yourself that you've given up on love and you love living the single life because you love it so much that you have to complain about your lack of a romantic life to the entire planet, and I'm sure you're gonna continue to love the single life when you're 60 years old and your 12 cats perch themselves on the windowsill and stare at you with their soulless eyes. They're just waiting for you to give up the mortal coil, and you don't even want to know what they're gonna do afterwards.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I cheated in another country, so at that time, I was like, oh, nobody's gonna know about this. I don't say anything, it's, you know, it's all about me right now. So at that time, I enjoyed it. But yeah, as soon as I got back, I just felt so guilty.
I don't think any of that's true.
Yeah, I swear to the intergalactic space god Klobuchar, all hail, that modern women will come up with some of the most bizarre reasons to cheat. Whether it's being 2,000 miles away, bored, or upset that you didn't give her the last can of sparkling water, it's somehow grounds for cheating. You cheated on your guy because you were 2,000 miles away and figured nobody would find out. And you were so self-absorbed with what you wanted to do that the mere notion of how this would affect the man that you were seeing had never occurred in that purple purple-haired bullcrap dome you call a head. And only when you came home did you start to feel guilty? Yeah, I have a hard time believing that, woman. If you truly cared about the guy you were with, you would have stayed faithful. But because your desire to feel good and have fun overrode your ability to remain faithful, I'm going to assume you never had much respect for that man in the first place. Somebody better show up to hose you down because you are covered in bullshit.
Yeah, I enjoyed it in the process. My boyfriend at the time was 2,000 miles away, and here's my best friend's cousin, who is right here and open and willing, and I was like, okay, let's go.
You! I will think of you as I throw up into the toilet.
I don't think I'm alone in this one when I say it's kind of disturbing how normalized cheating has become in today's society. For some reason, cheating is totally justified if you're a woman because feelings. If a man cheats, it's considered one of the greatest affronts to mankind next to the patriarchy and the invention of Limburger cheese. However, if a woman cheats, it's because she's reclaiming her womanhood by betraying the trust and loyalty of a man who sacrificed a massive chunk of his dignity just to be with her. Trust and loyalty are sacred to men. That's why brotherhood is a sacred bond, which is why it's so frustrating to see modern women treat trust and respect as if it's used tissue paper. It's one of the major reasons why men have walked away from dating in its entirety. Why would a man bother with a woman who's just gonna cheat on him for an absurd reason when he can remember the golden rule with his buddies?
Brothers before wars, David.
I think I'm just too traditional for this world, because you know what? I do expect someone to open the door for me. I do expect them to open the door when I'm getting inside the car. Not necessarily when I'm getting out, but when I'm getting inside.
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow, that's just wonderful. Coincidentally, I'm a bit of a traditionalist myself. If I take a strong enough blow to the head with a crescent wrench and decide to get married, then I'm gonna expect that woman to know how to prepare meals that don't involve ordering DoorDash. I'm also expecting her to be able to clean up a little bit and not complain that I'm not doing enough, despite providing the household income as well as the roof with which she resides. Oh wait, that's right, I'm sorry, I forgot. What she's saying is empowering and what I'm saying is misogynistic. It's okay for a woman to be traditional when it comes to her treatment, but when it comes to the man, we're just supposed to shut up and do as we're told while the wife orders DoorDash and goes on and on about what she expects. And at no point are you even willing to talk about what you're going to give the man in exchange. You're a bit long in the tooth, lady, and I don't think now is the time for you to be listing off any demands.
Indeed! I do expect someone to walk on the side of the road that they should. And if you don't know that, look it up.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
I do expect that when you ask me out on a first date and you live an hour away, that you do come up this way.
Nobody cares what you think.
Alright, well, here's a simple question for you, woman. It's one word, so it might be a little too complicated for you, but go ahead and try and put in the effort. Why? Why should a man have to drive far away to come pick you up for a date? Why should he take the time using his gas and his money to take you to a franchise Mexican food restaurant to watch you shove refried beans down your dusty mouth hole? Why are you worthy of such treatment? You're looking at us saying that you deserve it because you're traditional, but at no point have you even tried to make the argument that you're actually worth that kind of effort. You're not pretty, you're not intellectually stimulating, and I can't even imagine the loneliest of men would want to risk exploring that cobweb factory betwixt your legs that was formerly known as your baby maker. Just admit that you're a cheapskate and don't feel like you should have to drive out too far for a man to buy you food. I mean, you're already making yourself look hideous with your terrible attitude, and our time is more valuable than yours. So stop wasting it and be honest for once.
One thing I think men forget is that you put all of this value into a woman and whatnot, and she gives it back to you tenfold. So you treat me well, I'm going to treat you better, most likely. When did chivalry
That doesn't make sense.
So what you're saying is only after we put forth the effort to prove that we're worthy of whatever overrated claptrap you're offering, then and only then will you actually reciprocate with anything that would even slightly resemble affectionate. You know what, I really do appreciate the offer, but I'm gonna have to give you a hard pass. Do you really want to know the reason why chivalry died? Well, for starters, we gave up on the knightly code after the advent of firearms and did away with the monarchy. The second reason why is because men are tired of being disrespected by entitled hags such as yourself. Men aren't opening doors for you or planning elaborate dates because you're simply not worth the effort. Because if you were, you wouldn't be pushing 50 and demanding to be treated like a queen, when in actuality, you're closer to a filthy peasant. Okay, you know what? That's a little harsh. I take that back. Peasants are humble, and they probably smell better as well now that I think of it.
Women nowadays are so high maintenance. What do you bring to the table? Oh boy, I have a lot to say on this. Let's go.
Should be interesting.
First of all, women bring emotional support. We're there to provide comfort and a safe space to come home to. We bring compassion, care, and healing. We bring beauty and femininity. Cause don't lie, bro, you also take pride when your girl is a 10. Your ego gets boosted too when all your friends think your girlfriend is hot. Don't lie, bro.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
You know what, crazy lady? You might actually be onto something if that's what you actually provided, because none of us believe you. How can we? You're flailing around like a meth head at Disneyland. You're listing off all of the quality traits that self-respecting men do find desirable in women. However, it's kind of hard to take you seriously when you're screaming at us in such a condescending tone. It's incredibly disrespectful and shows that you don't fully appreciate what men find desirable in women. Sure, we absolutely want peace and femininity. We also want trust, stability, and a woman who's not going to be screaming in such a shrill voice that it makes our heads want to explode. I got enough problems as it is without your voice causing my brains to stain my carpet.
We're also there to give you a second opinion, to stop you from doing stupid shit, because we have your best interest at heart, and we want to support your goals, your plan, your vision. And on top of that, we bring intimacy, closeness, empathy, understanding, guidance to the freaking table. Because I've seen y'all men comfort each other, and it is the lamest thing ever. Oh bro, I had a bad day at work. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Take it easy, yeah? Here, have a can of beer. Now, would you prefer that? Or, oh baby, do you want to talk about it? Tell me, what else can I do to make you feel better? If you'd rather be comforted by your bros and a can of beer, then go marry each other, lah. Or better yet, go marry the fucking table.
Hey. And I've seen how you commiserate with your friends, and it's the lamest thing I've ever seen. It goes something like this. Oh, I had a bad day at work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Have a glass of boxed wine and we'll talk crap about your boyfriend while I convince you to leave him. Sound familiar? And even if we wanted to, in the event that we try to open up to you, would you lend a helping hand or be turned off because we're showing our vulnerability? Trust me, sister, the second we open up, that's the moment you dry up faster than the Sahara Desert in the middle of Armageddon. Anything we tell you will be stored and categorized to be used against us in a future argument. So if it's you weaponizing our vulnerabilities against us or having a beer with our most trusted buddies, we'll take the beer every time because it's less of a hassle and significantly more satisfying.
And mind you, women nowadays can afford to pay our own rent and bills. We can buy our own meals and can still afford to go on shopping sprees to pamper ourselves with cute clothes, makeup products, and beauty treatment. So if we can already do that for ourselves, I guess the question is, what do you bring to the table? Period. Okay, I love you always. Bye.
Nobody cares, Sean. Nobody cares.
So your main argument is that you're able to buy things. Okay, great. What does that have to do with anything, woman? That has literally nothing to do with what we're talking about here. We're talking about the fact that men are constantly being disrespected in relationships by women who bring nothing to improve the man's life. This is about women not being able to provide the things that men want in a relationship. And your closing argument is that you don't need our money? Okay, great. You make your own money to go buy useless trinkets to try and fill the empty void in your life. Because deep down, you know that you are incapable of providing a man with what he needs, and instead of actually putting forth the work to understand this, you're just gonna go buy a pair of shoes and a whole bunch of chemicals to rub all over your skin. Might I also suggest that you start stocking up on cat food now? Women do not know how to spend money responsibly, and they're getting more and more broke by the day, and let's face it, those cats are going to be the only hungry mouths you'll ever be able to feed. Before we sign off today, I just wanted to take a second to say that this channel has reached a personal milestone. At the time of this recording, the channel has just reached the 5,000 subscriber mark, and personally, I think that's pretty damn awesome. As far as I'm concerned, I have some of the best subs in the whole damn universe. You certified gents are the reason why I keep making content. So I just wanted to take a second to say thank you for getting the word out and making this intergalactic bounty hunter's dream a reality. So if you're new here and finding my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button and ring the notification bell so we can give more middle fingers to the YouTube algorithm. Feel free to share and comment down below, and thanks for checking out the new video. Until next time, peace out, homies.